thanks very much, Charlie Harpur, for coming on and just telling us about your momentous month of May, I suppose, for your run every morning, darkness into light, some achievement.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Are you a regular runner, Charlie, or do you do it often, or would you do?
No, not in the slightest actually. I was doing a couple of like kind of short loops around the block at the start of lockdown, max being around 5k. And then I was out one night and I just said I'm just going to go for an hour and see how far I can go. And I got, I think it was about 10k in 58 minutes. So that was the closest I got into an hour run. And then I think about 3 days later, I posted on my Instagram about the GoFundMe, and I went from there. So no, not a runner at all.
And you ran for the full every morning from the first
yeah,
to the 31st?
So what it was I had the idea of doing the darkness into light every day. But then I was thinking, so darkness into light typically is a 5k loop and you have an hour to do it. So I was thinking 5k probably wouldn't be as substantial in terms of kind of getting a bit of ground on the donations or whatnot. So I said I'd just run for the hour, roughly hitting about 10k each day. But I was hitting kind of 12k, 11k most days. I think the lowest I ran was 10.3 or 10.4. So I just went for the hour straight each day. From kind of, I think it was about 10 to 5 was my first run until 10 to 6. But then each day with sunrise getting a little bit earlier. My last run finished at 5:05.
So what time are you getting up
at? Roughly about 3:30.
You weren't just coming home at 3:30. You were actually.
There was a couple of them, all right. There was a couple of them. Most days actually I kind of started off just staying up until the run, and then I'd sleep when I got home. So I'd run, come home, have a bit of a breakfast, and then I'd get to sleep about 6 o'clock in the morning until 2 in the afternoon, and then I'd start my day.
Jeez, kind of like Elvis, really, isn't it? So why did you do it for Pieta House? Well, aside from the fact that they have the darks into light, what was the motivation for you guys?
The idea kind of stemmed around the time of the kind of, the Run 5, Donate 5, Nominate 5 challenge on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I did my 5k and I donated to Pieta, and then I was kind of reading up on the darkness into light on their website and how like that fundraisers for Pieta account for something like 80% of their kind of yearly take in.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the darkness into light, I think that accounted for nearly 40% of that. So I was like, geez, that's a big hit.
Yeah.
And then obviously everyone kind of has their own kind of run in with mental health or knows somebody who has. So said it's definitely a relevant charity to everyone. So there was no real it wasn't like it was a hard decision as to who I should pick to do it for. It was kind of just clicked. I should do it for them.
All worked out.
Yeah.
So do you know how much you've raised so far? Have you checked in on the GoFundMe page?
I think the last time I checked in, it was just coming towards 13,000.
Well, you're at 13, just shy of 13,500. I just checked it.
13,500.
You have 450 donations to the tune of 13.5 grand. Quite an achievement considering your goal was 500 quid.
Yeah. No, I definitely didn't expect that. I remember chatting to a couple of the lads and a couple of my mates before posting it on Instagram, and I was thinking, what should I set my goal? I didn't want to set it too big and fall short of it. And they were all saying, set it to 5 grand, you'll easily get that. And I was like, no, not a hope. And I think before I even started running, I already had 8 grand, I think. And that was in 48 hours, I think.
Right. Jesus.
So
what's next then? Marathon?
I was looking at, there was one of the lads, he's a bit of a runner, he suggested we do the Dingle half marathon.
Oh yeah.
and just go down there for a weekend and do that. Obviously that got cancelled. And then obviously the Dublin Marathon would have been after that, but
of course,
that's
there is no
well.
marathons for you to do.
There is nothing, and I don't know if I don't have the willpower anymore to go out and do a marathon myself. I think I'm fairly drained.
What did it do to you physically? 10K every day or thereabouts. Like on the third, there's always a weight differential, or
there was no on the scales. There was no difference,
right.
but I could see in the mirror. I could see it all shifting from kind of up here just straight down to my legs. So it stayed the same weight. It just all shifted south. The first few days I was just running on adrenaline, so they were kind of easy enough. It was kind of around day 11 I started to feel it, and I was thinking, oh jeez, what have I got myself into? And that's when the knees started to feel it quite a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously it was all running on road, bar one of the days I took a trip into Lakelands, ran around the grass there for a while, but apart from that it was all on the road, so it was tough on the knees and ankles.
Was it all pasta and, well, I'm not a runner, so I don't know. I know pasta's part of it, but did you have to change the diets and stuff?
Yeah, at first I didn't really change much. Then I realised like I'm fairly depleted, so I was having kind of 6 bowls of cereals on top of whatever other meals I was eating anyway. So
right.
If I wasn't sleeping during the day, I was downstairs in the kitchen rummaging around.
The last run, somebody took a small video and put it up on Instagram stories and around the various social platforms, and you were like Forrest Gump there with a gang behind you.
Yeah.
Was it like that every morning, or did you have company most mornings?
No, there was a huge turnout there on the last morning. I actually hadn't a clue there was going to be anybody with me. I think it was the night before, 2 of the lads texted me to say they would join me, and they were just asking me about the route. And they got the message around. They set up a couple of meet-up points. So I think 2 lads started with me from the gate to my house, and we ran down to Charlie Square, just past Rathfarnham Shopping Centre.
Yeah.
6 or 7 lads there.
Right.
Then we ran down into Rathfarnham Village, then up Lower Dodder Road into Rathgar Village. Another couple of lads there. Then down into Terenure Village, there was probably 15 or 20 lads there. And then down to the KCR, and there was another 15 lads there.
Jesus.
And then we did another it was 6 or 7K after that, back and finished down at Rathfarnham Shopping Centre.
Yeah, I think I probably would have met you. I'd have met you at the traffic lights there at Rathfarnham Shopping Centre, and maybe
for the last
the next little lights or the car park gate. So did you do the same route every morning?
Not really. I felt the first few days I did the same route, but I felt myself getting kind of bored, or it kind of became more of a mental game then. If I kind of knew there was, say, 4K to go, 6K to go, it was too much of a mental game at that stage. So I kept changing up, chopping and changing, kind of just as I went, I'd go, oh, I'll take a left here or whatever. So kind of just went as I went. And I always kind of aimed to finish at the house. Sometimes I kind of gauged it wrong, and I'd end up running past the house, and then I'd have to do an extra couple of kilometres.
Right. I saw there one morning, it made it again onto the social, our illustrious president of Terenure College RFC, Mr. Paul Murphy, joined you one morning. So how did you get him out of bed?
He actually didn't take too much convincing. He gave me the text. He revoked his offer quite quickly though, because he was having a few beers one night. So he had to postpone that. So yeah, then he came out one of the other mornings. But
did he keep up with you?
Surprisingly enough, sorry?
Did he keep up with you?
He did actually. Yeah, I was quite surprised. He in fact, he probably set the pace for me. I was quite depleted, but no, it was great to get him out.
Pretty good for an old man like him.
Not too bad at all.
So would you do it again? Will it be an annual event?
I was thinking that. I just don't know, would it have the same kind of effect in terms of the donation and I know the support would obviously be there. I just don't know if you could keep asking people for money. I definitely like to do it again. It'd definitely be my exercise for the year done. So it'd be something to consider.
Yeah. What time? I mean, after a month of waking up, whatever, 4:30, 5 a.m. What's your sleep routine like now? Are you still waking up at that time?
Yeah, I've done quite a few sunrises since. A lot of them have just been only getting to bed at that stage, coming home.
Right.
But I'm working at the moment for my dad, so any sleep I can get is like valuable. So
you're getting out and about working anyway?
Yeah, so I think I started working for him about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So in the middle of the running, I was doing a bit of work for him, going out installing the Perspex screens in offices and shops and whatnot that are opening up. So I was literally.
And how's lockdown? Well, if you're getting out all night, how's lockdown affecting you?
Yeah, it hasn't actually been that bad over the past month. I've been preoccupied running around.
Yeah.
But now that I'm kind of a bit more time in my hands, and I've had a couple of days off work at the moment, so I'm just literally just trying to sleep as much as I can.
Good stuff. Can you tell me? I was just wondering, what was your average time over the month?
So
what was the fastest and slowest on the average?
Yes, so it was an hour straight every day.
Right.
So that was the only bit of consistency in it. And then through that, it was, I think, my lowest in terms of kilometers that I did was about 10.3. And I think the most I did was just coming up to 12.5K, I think.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, there was a couple of days were definitely down by the 10.3.
Right.
But then it was a good. I finished the last run I did with all the lads. Was definitely my best run. At the start of the month, I was going straight, doing the hour straight, no breaks. Then kind of towards the middle, towards the end, I was kind of taking a couple of breaks here and there. But the last run, I was just full of adrenaline, and I went the hour straight. We got back to Tesco in Rathfarnham, I think, it was 58 minutes or 57 minutes on the clock, and I'd done 12.4. So that was definitely kind of my best loop.
Brilliant. Jesus, I tell you, Charlie, you're a credit to yourself, the club, and your folks, and the money is unbelievable. Does the page stay open, or how does it work?
I was thinking of leaving it open for a couple of days, just kind of let anybody else who hasn't kind of chipped in. So I think I might leave it open for the next kind of 3 or 4 days, maybe, and then I've been in contact with Pieta, so they're just waiting for the money now, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll leave it open for a couple more days. It's the donations have definitely died down, so I think it's kind of getting to that point where it should be closing up now. But
you did a donation 5 hours ago and 3 hours ago as well. So
okay,
there's still a few bob getting kicked in.
There's a few, yeah.
So it's on a GoFundMe. So if I had a look myself, it's on GoFundMe under The Darkest Hour. So if you just Google GoFundMe The Darkest Hour, your page pops up, and give as much as you can.
Yeah.
Charlie, you're a credit, and thanks a million for taking part.
No worries.
Sure, you never know. We'll probably see you doing it again next year.
Maybe.
All right. You're a top man. Well done again.
Cheers. Thanks very much for that.
Thanks for.
See you. Take care.
Cheers.